Hi students, in the previous class we have seen that is a working of a battery, okay. Now see here, that is a Ohm's law. Till now we know only that a current flows between 2 points because of potential difference between those 2 points, okay. So yet we don't know the relation between voltage and the current, but because of we know, but because of voltage the current flows, okay. So here it is the German physicist George Simon Ohm derived a relation, or else proposed a relation between voltage and current, and that is called as Ohm's law, okay. So according to Ohm's law, V by I is equals to constant, that is voltage upon current. The voltage upon current is equals to a constant at constant temperature. So this is a mathematical form of Ohm's law, okay. So how we define Ohm's law? At a constant temperature, the potential difference between the ends of a conductor is directly proportional to flow of current through it. So in this way we can define Ohm's law. So here we can here you can learn how to verify Ohm's law. This is actually lab activity, okay. So this has to do in the lab, but for the examination purpose it is very important. So that's why here I am explaining how to write in the examination about Ohm's law, okay. So for this see here, that is a aim to show that the ratio V by I is a constant for a conductor. So materials required are 5 dry cells of 1.5 volt each, conducting wires, an ammeter, a voltmeter, a magnet wire of length 10 centimeter, LED and a key. So here you take magnet wire, or if it is available, or else otherwise you take iron spoke, that is your wish, okay. So to conduct the lab activity for Ohm's law, so we have to connect the circuit as shown in this diagram, okay. See here, this is a battery, and this is a ammeter, plug key, and this is a magnet wire, and this is a voltmeter, okay. So here we have to connect ammeter in series in the circuit to measure the electric current, okay. Ammeter is a device used to measure the electric current, and to measure the electric current flowing in the circuit, you have to connect it in the series in the circuit, okay, in series. Next see here, to measure the potential difference between any 2 points. So here we have to measure the potential difference between two ends of a magnet wire. So we have to connect a voltmeter parallelly to the magnet wire in this way, okay. That means the positive terminal of a voltmeter is to on the positive terminal of a battery side to the magnet wire, and here the negative terminal of a battery should connect on a negative terminal of a battery side to the magnet wire in this way, okay. So in this way we have to connect the devices in the circuit, okay. Here ammeter is in series and voltmeter is in a parallel connection, okay. Yes. So whatever the current flows, when we close the plug key, current flows in the circuit. Whatever the current flows in the circuit, the same current flows in the ammeter. So on the ammeter, we can observe on a pointer, that a pointer shows the flow of current through the ammeter, and that is the flow of current through the circuit, and that same current flows through the magnet wire also, because ammeter and magnet wire are in series combination, okay. That means there is only one, this is the path, and whatever the current flows through ammeter, that same current flows through the magnet wire also, okay. And to measure the voltage across the magnet wire, or else to measure the potential difference across the magnet wire, so we have to connect a voltmeter parallel to the magnet wire in this way, okay. So here this voltmeter gives the reading of potential difference between ends of a magnetite wire. Okay, so here voltmeter is connected parallel to the magnetite wire. Okay, so always to measure the potential difference between any 2 points, so we have to connect a voltmeter parallelly between those 2 points. Okay, yes. So here voltmeter does not draw any current through it. Okay, because okay, so here uh, you don't know about resistance till now. So because it does not draw the current means because its resistance is high. Okay, in the case of ideal voltmeter, resistance is infinity. A meter does not have any resistance. Its resistance is almost zero. For a the resistance of ideal ammeter is 0. Okay, now let's see here how we carry out the experiment in a lab. Okay, so here there is one battery. When we close the plug key, current flows. Okay, and that flow of current we can measure from the ammeter, and here there is a voltmeter, and this voltmeter gives the reading of voltage or else a potential difference between these two ends of a magnetite wire, and we note this voltage and current value in a tabular form. Okay, see here serial number, potential difference, electric current, v by I. So in the number 1, okay, serial number 1, when there is one cell in a circuit, and when there is one battery in the circuit, the potential difference across the magnetite wire, and here this is the electric current flowing to the magnetite wire and flowing to the circuit also, because whatever the current flows to the circuit, that the same current flows to the magnetite wire. Okay, so next you take two cells connected in series in the circuit. Okay, so see here these are the two cells. Okay, connected in a series. To connect in a series, we should connect the negative terminal of one battery to the positive terminal of another battery. Okay, and finally there is positive terminal of one battery is to one side of a connecting wire, and the negative terminal of a second battery is to the other side of a connecting wire. Okay, okay, that means one end of the wire is to the positive terminal of one battery, another end of the wire is to the negative terminal of a second battery. Okay, so if these are connected in this way, called as a series combination, a back to back connection. Okay, so what happens if we connect two batteries in this way means that is, see here, assume its voltage is a 1.5 and its voltage is 1.5, 1.5 plus 1.5, that is equals to 3 volts. That means if we connect cells in a series, then the total voltage is equals to the sum of the voltages of individual cells. Okay, so that's why we connect batteries in a series connection. Now in the circuit, connect two cells in a series combination and measure the potential difference from a voltmeter and electric current from the ammeter, and note those values here. Okay, and next three cells in series in the circuit, measure the potential difference in the voltmeter and the electric current in the ammeter and note the values here. Next four cells in series in the circuit, then measure the potential difference in the voltmeter across the magnetite wire and the electric current flowing through the magnetite wire in the ammeter and note the values here. And next 5 cells are in series in the circuit. Okay, then measure the potential difference across the magnetite wire and the flow of current in the circuit. Okay, now do V by I. Okay, potential difference by current. Okay, here we get some value. Next this voltage by this current, here we get some value. This voltage by this current, this voltage by this current, this voltage by this current. So here you get V by I values. Okay, so here we repeated the experiment of 5 times. Okay, so in 5 different times we get 5 different potential difference values, 5 different electric current values. But when we do V by I, that is in 5 times also, okay, we get the same V by I current value. Okay, so here V by I, whatever the value, okay, got when do when we do v by I, that here also same, here also same, here also same, here also same. That means that is in all the 5 times, that is the ratio, that is v by I is equals to what? A constant. That means so whatever the numerical value got here, that same value here also, here also, here also, here also. That means v by I is equals to constant. Okay, and v is equals to, we can write constant into I. When we remove this constant, we can put a proportional symbol, so v is directly proportional to I. And v by I is equals to, here constant we take a, okay, constant, proportional constant. Here we take that proportional constant or resistance. Okay, and now v is equals to I, or r is equals to v by I. So here r is okay, here voltage is measured across the manganese wire, and current is flowing through that manganese wire. V by I is equals to r. Here r is the resistance of that manganese wire. Okay, that is v is equals to I, r is equals to v by I. Now let's see here how we define resistance. That means the obstruction offered by a material for the flow of electrons through it is called as its resistance. R is equals to V by I. The obstruction, or else the resistance, okay, the obstruction offered by a material to flow the electrons through it, okay, is called as its resistance. So here the resistance of manganese wire R is equals to V by I. So later very clearly I will explain what is mean by resistance. Okay, and here the units of resistance is ohm, and voltage, that is units of voltage units is volt, and current can measure in amperes. Okay, so 1 ohm is equals to 1 volt per 1 ampere. Okay, suppose due to 1 volt potential difference, if 1 ampere current flows through a material taken, then its resistance is equals to 1 ohm. So in this way we can define 1 ohm. Okay, the resistance of a material is 1 ohm is said to be when 1 ampere current flows due to the 1 volt potential difference. Okay, this is 1 ohm is equals to 1 volt per ampere. Okay, now let's see here, this is the okay graph drawn between a voltage and a current. So take the voltage values on the x axis and current values along the y axis. So here we got 5 volt potential difference values and 5 corresponding electric current values. Okay, so if we draw the graph between potential difference and electric current values got, okay, so we get a graph okay, in the straight line form in this way. Okay, so this straight line graph indicates that these two physical quantities are in directly proportional. Okay, so here we proved that v by I is equals to constant. That means here we verified that Ohm's law v by I is equals to constant from a tabular form, and from the graph also. Okay, we can verify that Ohm's law. Okay, that means when we draw the graph between a voltage and current, okay, if it is a straight, if the graph is a straight line, okay, that indicates that a voltage and a current are in a directly proportional, and this is also Ohm's law. Now when we draw the graph, and if we get the straight line, that means from the graph also, okay, if we get the graph straight line, from the graph also we can verify Ohm's law. Okay, so this is the verification of Ohm's law from the graph in the tabular form. Okay, now see here, suppose in the case of a manganese wire, okay, if we take a LED, okay, if we replace manganese wire by LED, and if we repeat the same experiment, okay, in the same way, by following the same procedure, okay, yes, we get a different potential differences values, different electric current values, and if we do, yes, different potential differences and different electric current values. Okay, if we draw the graph between the potential differences and the electric currents when there is a LED in the place of a manganese wire in the circuit, okay, then we get the graph not a straight line, but instead of straight line we get the graph in the curved form in this way. Okay, When a graph is curved or drawn between any two physical quantities means then those two physical quantities are not in directly proportional. That means from this graph we can conclude that here these two physical quantities voltage and current are not in directly proportional. Okay. So that means see here that is if we take a manganese wire, uh, okay, we verified Ohm's law. But if we take a LED bulb, that means Ohm's law, okay, is not verified. Okay, that means for some materials only we can verify Ohm's law, and for some materials, if we take some materials, okay, we cannot verify the Ohm's law. So why means see here that is if we take a LED, okay, so it is not possible to keep the temperature constant. This means the temperature changes. If the temperature changes, the resistance value also changes. Then V by I is not equals to a constant. Okay, so V by I is not a constant. So that's why Ohm's law not a we cannot verify the Ohm's law in the case of LED. Okay. So see here, depending upon the material, so we can classify the materials into two types: ohmic materials and non-ohmic materials. Materials which obey Ohm's law are called as ohmic materials. Example, all metals. Materials which do not obey Ohm's law are called as non-ohmic materials. Example, gases, conductors, semiconductors such as silicon and germanium. Okay, that means in the circuit, if we take any conducting materials, any materials, we can verify Ohm's law. That means we get V is directly proportional to I. Okay, in the circuit, if we